You know, some of your worst enemies turn out to be your best friends, you know, in life. I think there's something that you rub against somebody and it makes you stronger and sharper. I always say, and Ralph and I always joke around, you know, that if Johnny and Daniel never met, you know, Daniel wouldn't have met Miyagi, and he wouldn't be who he is today. And if Daniel didn't kind of humble Johnny in his younger days and set him on a spiraling path to have to find his way back. So yeah, I think that they need each other in a way. And I think, you know, ultimately at the end, sure, they could be friends, but they also come from such different points of view and different philosophies. That takes a lot to purge that out and to find the middle. So as much as they have the same focus and ultimate goal, there's a lot of obstacles in the way of that happening harmoniously, you know?
The whole reason these kids got into trouble was because of us. We can't let them suffer because of our issues. The only way to end this is by working together.
Certainly a highlight for me personally, and also through the character of Daniel LaRusso. Having, you know, the show has done such a great job of bringing what we call our OG, our original characters from the original Karate Kid franchise, be it some of the Cobra Kai guys, be it Lucille LaRusso, Daniel's mom, in season 1 and 2. And season 3, we revealed just yesterday that Tamlin Tomita and Yuji Okamoto, Kumiko and Chosen are back. And it's a beautiful storyline because it has all that history of yesteryear, but it propels the story arc for adult Daniel LaRusso going forward. To play opposite those actors once again, everybody, and Billy will attest to this as well, everyone who's come to be part of the Cobra Kai series that originated in the Karate Kid films has brought their A game. They make us better. They make me better, that's for sure, and add another dimension to our show. And that's another component of why it is so rich in so many different areas. I'm so excited for the fans to see Chosen and Kumiko back and to move forward from there. It's great stuff.
Your enemies think
that already finished. Season 3 was finished a year ago. So Netflix actually didn't technically make it. It was already made, and Netflix acquired it, and now we're moving forward into season 4. But it couldn't be more amazing. I mean, we had a great run with the people that saw it on its original platform, but they released seasons 1 and 2 all over again to a brand new audience, and the response has been, it just keeps topping itself. It gets better and better and bigger and bigger, and so now we're excited to move forward into season 4 and beyond, and we feel really good about where we are, and super supported, and it's incredible. I mean, we're talking to people like you, so that says it all.
Yeah, it's fantastic to have the impact and have the show reach so many different territories and areas and countries, and sort of have this embrace in many languages. It's kind of wonderful.
There's one thing I do know for sure. You can't run away from your problems.
Mary and I have talked about that, and for me, I can kind of see that happening. I don't really know how you come back from everything that's gone down in season 2. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the writers always shock us, but I see that being a rivalry that would last just as long.
Okay.
Trickle down to our kids.
Yeah, I was about to say, now that in another 30 years we'll have the next show, which will be my kid raising years. I, as Samantha, I'm like, I'm not fighting over a boy. Like, I'm fighting over good and bad. I'm fighting over right and wrong. I'm fighting over person to person. She also kind of stole one of my closest friends from my childhood. So, as Samantha, lots of issues with Tori here that have nothing to do with the boy. But if I were to try to sit them down as Mary and get them to kind of become friends in some way, or at least, you know, get over it, I think my number one trick would be I would just take all of us to karaoke, because Peyton and I had a lot of fun at karaoke, and I feel like after that, like, she and I didn't get a lot of opportunities to kind of hang off hang out off set, because a lot of times she would be flying in and out for the episodes and I was in Atlanta full time. So that was our first opportunity to like hang out outside of work. And I feel like we really bonded, like jamming out to ABBA at karaoke. So I feel like that would get Sam and Tori on the same page.
Okay.
I was not expecting that answer, Mary.
The huge fight scene. And I think Mary and I had huge pieces, and we had a lot that had been building and working up to this huge, you know, climax in the series. So, or in the season. So it just felt like, okay, we got to get this right. And, but I think that once we got to it, it was just so much fun. It really was. I mean, the adrenaline we felt doing these big oneers and just one take of not stopping and going through, and that, and everybody in the halls, all the background were screaming and saying, get her, get in there. And everyone had so much energy. I think it just really added to it. And it felt good. It felt good doing it. And normally I kind of don't really know, but also just, you know, Mary being down. And I mean, Mary was accidentally getting hurt so much. I mean, people were getting hurt and things were happening, but I think that, I don't know, it was epic.
Never be able to. Never, can't. Those are just words, they're meaningless.
For Miguel, I think there's nothing, you know, worse than someone who loves karate not being able to, well, I guess right now, not even being able to wake up. So I think at the very least, we're going to have to see, you know, how the coma kind of fizzles out. But, you know, more so than that, more so than the physical aspect, I think the emotional aspect and really the having to cope with the events of season 2 are really going to be way harder than any form of physical therapy or whatever someone would go through with, you know, the predicament that Miguel's in. Or I think that you know, the mental side is going to be way harder than the physical side, and we'll definitely see that play out in season 3.
You want something, you have to crawl across the floor. Use your damn teeth if you have.
You know, I think Johnny was able to sort of awaken that part of the character that I get to play, and he just has all this newfound power, so to speak. And, you know, he's a kid. He doesn't really know what he's doing. He still is carrying around a lot of those, you know, insecurities that he had. There's still a ton of Eli and Hawk. I mean, they're the same person, but I do think a lot of it has to do with Kreese, and especially in season 3, when it's Kreese's Cobra Kai, you get to see a lot more of Hawk dealing with the turmoil of kind of figuring out who he is in that new Cobra Kai. It was fun.
I'm always going to be right here next to you. Because I'll always be your teacher. Oh, shit.
Kind of displaying this sense of there's not really such thing as a good guy and a bad guy. And I feel like in real life, while we may have our own kind of lines that we draw and what kind of makes someone a good person versus a bad person, I think Cobra Kai really does a great job at pushing those lines and kind of blurring them and having people sit right on those lines. And I think that that's something that a lot of us in real life have to kind of figure out, you know, whether that be, you know, our family members, the friends that we choose. Like, I think it's something that is very realistic, and especially in a day and age like now, is more apparent than ever. So I feel like while it may be a little bit dramatic to have these big, you know, fights and whatnot, I think, you know, a lot of the other moments are pretty realistic.
Season 2 and how that ended, I think going forward, I think that Miguel and Hawk are still going to continue their relationship, because they were like their first friends, you know, and they've been through a lot together, especially now that, you know, Miguel has literally hit rock bottom, the bottom of a staircase. So I think, you know, they're brothers for life. Same with Dimitri, hopefully, you know, we'll see.
Mr. Miyagi taught me everything you knew.
Let us find out.